Welcome into I Said What I Said. I'm Brad Wakai. That's Tyson Gentry. We're here with the betting edition of the Week 3 in the NFL. Now, Tyson, oh boy, you know what we do here, folks. We don't run, we don't hide. We're not like the other shows who act like they're experts, but we will tell you we're not. And if we give out picks, we're going to say we messed up and we missed them. And that's exactly what happened last week, man. I mean, I went 1-5, brutal, minus 3.56 units. Stacking back-to-back tough weeks. I followed up my 1-4 week with a 1-5 week. So, boys, we got to turn some stuff around. But got the Seahawks-Jets money line parlay home. They can't lose, no way. And that was sweaty. Took overtime. Jets were looking bad, but we got that home. I thought I was going to be able to come on here and complain about the hook on the Eagles game. Well, they just lost outright on just an insane ending on Monday Night Football. Giants Commanders, I do have an issue with that not going over 42.5. They had like 7 red zone trips, and all of them settled for field goals. That was ridiculous. Even one touchdown, we fly over. Lions team total over 30.5. I mean, even if I would have bought that down, like we discussed, that wasn't hitting, but did something wrong with the offense, I think. And my 2 teasers, God, if I just would have combined the gross ones and the single one, we would have had it. But Ravens -2 blow a huge fourth quarter lead, of course. Bengals +12 was the right side, and I flipped it. Cowboys got embarrassed on the pick. I'm getting that down from 6. And Packers +9 was the right read. So I just wish I would have switched some things around, and here we are, down a hefty penny.
Yeah, I went 2-2 this week. Missed the play of the week again, dude. I don't know if we're ever going to hit one of these between our college football and our NFL shows. The play of the week, if you don't know, that's like 1 unit up basically from what we bet on everything else. So if you're looking at it and you're going, how are you losing money on going even? It's because we can't hit the ones that we say are our locks, right? So I had Commanders money line, easy, no sweat. I don't care what you're talking about with these red zone trips. Giants suck. Chargers Panthers under 39. That should have been the amount of snaps Bryce Young has left in his NFL career.
Oh no!
Come on, brother. Play of the week: 49ers -4.5. Get embarrassed. I mean, we got Instagram videos of referees running faster than safeties out here. That's not a good look. In week 2. And then I think the Jaguars are dead to me at -2.5. Like, I think this team is bad. I've been the preeminent Trevor Lawrence hater, I think, in the country for the last 4 years. And then something happened this summer where I was just like, I think he's good. And I'm kicking myself a little bit. But next week, Brad, we're starting the show off, and you're not going to apologize to everybody about how much we suck. We're going to say, yes, we're showing off a bunch of green things. So let's get it started.
Let's do it. So putting the final bow on it from week 2, down 3.56 on my end. So I'm down 6.73 on the year. Tyson was down 0.23 on the week. He's still up about a half unit for the year. He had a good week 1 in comparison. So let's get this thing started. I'm going to throw it to you, man. I need some different juju here. So why don't you take it away with your play of the week?
My play of the week, folks, and this is a little out of the box for what we do here. But I'm going Jordan Whittington over 30.5 receiving yards, -114 here on FanDuel. The over/under or the alt reception lines aren't up, but I think he's probably going to walk away from this game with about 6 catches. So that's another thing that I would look for. Sean McVay, Matt Stafford have both come out and with some effusive praise for this guy. The preseason hype train was off the rails. This is a former 5-star recruit, going into college, battles injuries and all of those things in his college career, slides in the draft, ends up finding his way to LA. Brad, does this story sound familiar? Does this sound like anybody else? Does it sound like Puka Nacua? Does it sound like a Cooper Cup? And look, maybe he might not be those guys, but at 30.5 yards, I know who Tyler Johnson is, right? I know who Robinson is, all of these things. I don't know who Jordan Whittington is, and I think that there's a chance that this line is short because we just haven't seen him do it. This could be a first half play. We might get our feet up in the air. The other part, dude, the Rams might have to throw the ball a little bit this week. They're going to throw the ball a lot for the rest of the year. So Jordan Whittington this week and maybe the next one as well.
Tyson, my play of the week, I'm going back to the 6-point teaser. I think you might hate this, but I love this play. Browns, I'm getting it down to a half point. So basically just win the football game. That's when they're facing the Giants. I'll go through that. And I'm taking the Eagles up to 8.5. That's -120 on DraftKings, the 6-point teaser. Now I'll start with the Browns leg. The Giants are horrendous, man. I mean, they're 28th in EPA per pass on defense. This is not a good defensive unit, and we hate how the Browns offense looks. But Tyson, they're coming back home. They found a little mojo with Deshaun Watson on the road. Now, Kevin Stefanski, really good play caller, really good play designer. If there's any time for Deshaun Watson with a little confidence builder under his belt to attack a defense, it's this Giants unit. I mean, they're awful. They made rookie Jaden Daniels look comfortable in a second ever game. That's just unacceptable. And I just think there's too many weapons on this Browns team and on the perimeter. They're going to be able to run the ball a little bit better. This, to me, Browns are going to win this game at home. Now, Eagles, you guys may think I'm crazy after what we saw, what the Saints did. They're the best team that's ever lived. Derek Carr, MVP. Oh, my God. They're up to 2.5 now, the favorites, the Saints are. The open on this, Tyson, was Eagles -6, the look ahead. Huge favorites. Now, you got to take into account how the Saints have looked, and the Eagles blew the game against the Falcons. But let's say they don't. Let's say Saquon Barkley gets that first down, Eagles win by 6. What's this line? Is it pick 'em? I don't know.
For the Birds. I think it's
for the Birds, yeah. I mean, the Saints, there's no way they'd be favored by 2.5 points. I mean, there's just absolutely zero way. Now, I have an issue with the Eagles' secondary and their pass rush. I don't know if they're going to be able to heat up Derek Carr, especially if the Cowboys couldn't. So that's a concern. But what happens if they are able to manufacture pressure, make him uncomfortable finally? And then what happens? It could be a house of cards. We don't know. So I think the thought process here for me is just going against the move. I mean, I just think it's gone way too far. There's been 2 NFL football games played, and we're making a massive move like that. So play of the week for me, let's get the Browns down to a pick 'em basically, and the Eagles up over a touchdown.
2 NFL games played, and Derek Carr hasn't had to punt the ball yet, which is just a crazy thing to say out loud. My next one here, I'm going to keep it in this Cleveland and New York game. I'm going under in this game for the total points here. It's 39.5. It's -105 on FanDuel. Brad laid it out beautifully. I thought the Giants offense sucks. Like, it was encouraging to see Malik Neighbors get so many targets. He got 65%, Dave. All that's not what we meant. We didn't mean to him every play, but you got to get the kid involved. So I get where they're coming from there, but you can't do that against the Browns team. The Browns defense, for last year and all of the flowers that we gave them, a little bit of a rough start here over the first 2 weeks. You want to find your footing? Go get Daniel Jones. And I think this 39.5, I think we're flying under this. I think there's all these social media posts about nobody scoring touchdowns and scoring's way down. The books aren't acting like it, man. I mean, this is 39.5 last year, and the year before that, I think that this has a chance to be closer to 30.
Well, I'm going to take a 39.5 on the other side, Tyson. This is going to make you puke in your mouth. Panthers Raiders over 39.5. That's -115 on FanDuel. Now, listen, folks, these are bad teams, and the Panthers especially, but they're going to Andy Dalton. So I think this is priced as if it's Bryce Young still playing. I mean, they went and got Deontay Johnson. Adam Thielen's still playing. He got freaking 13 catches when Dalton was in the game last year. Yeah. So I think there's going to be a little bit more explosivity on offense. Like David Canales is going to be able to have his stuff. There are receivers running open. Bryce Young just hasn't had his timing, hasn't been able to, find these guys. Size, lack of arm strength, lack of accuracy, whatever the case may be. I think Dalton may be able to run this offense better. So I think we're going to see a better Carolina Panthers offense. But what we're not going to see is a better Carolina Panthers defense. That unit is horrible. So you got this Raiders team with a ton of really good skill position players. I mean, Devontae Adams is awesome. Brock Bowers looks as advertised. Jacoby Myers, we always know, can pop off a little bit. My concern for the Raiders side of things is they want to get back to running the football. They're the worst rushing team in the NFL when it comes to EPA per rush. No, I don't get it. But their offensive line, I think, leaves something to be desired. But I think we're going to see points in this one. In the Dome, you're going to have to regroup if you're the Panthers. You're going to be focused coming in. So give me the over in this.
This is very much a classic NFL play where both, the Panthers look so bad, and then Andy Dalton comes in and shreds it up. Brad, 39.5 could be, if you ask the average person on the street, what is Andy Dalton's age? I think that's about where the line is set. My next under here, and yes, I said my next under because there's going to be one more after this. I'm going with the Bears and Colts. So I'm sitting here at 43.5 right now on FanDuel. This doesn't make any sense to me, man. Are we watching the same Cleveland or the same Chicago Bears team? Yes, I know. They're going to figure it out eventually. I think Gus Bradley's defense sucks, and they don't have any corners. You don't have to cover anybody when you're living in the backfield. And that's the way that everybody's approached this Bears team. I think that the Bears went out in 3 minutes and signed DeAndre Swift. They're pick of the litter. Chose wrong. This guy can't play. It is what it is. The run game is really bad. You cannot take the stress off of your young quarterback, whether it's the Colts defense or the Titans defense, right? Both sides of the spectrum here. And then the other part, man, I am still kind of in the camp that I don't know if Anthony Richardson could play. And I think that the Bears defense is good enough to make it look like a real discussion. The only thing that's scary to me is if Shane Steichen just says, you know what, I've had all this, everything's cooked up, and I'm just sick of sitting on this stuff. Let's go score 1 billion points. Jonathan Taylor, get off the milk carton, brother. I'd love to see a big game from him, but at 43.5, I'm comfortable.
Tyson, I'm going gross this week, folks. Titans -2.5, -115 on FanDuel. Now they're home and hosting the Green Bay Packers. This thing got down to 1.5 at one point because there was smoke that Jordan Love was playing. Got back up to 2.5. To me, he's not. All signs are an MCL sprain is a 3 to 4 week recovery. He would be coming back way early on that. So this is going to be Malik Willis again. Now, he looked good against the Colts, but what do we say, Tyson? We know Gus Bradley ain't changing his game. Just like my boy Herb Brooks said, they won't change their game. We will. We're going to adapt. We're going to be the United States men's hockey team. But that runs out, man. This isn't the Olympics. This isn't just a little stretch. Like, we got tape on you. And the Titans defense, they were horrendous last year. They're been improved. They're the 8th best defense in the NFL. -0.08 expected points added. The defense, they tried to address it, and they really have. The secondary is much better. So they're going to try to run the football, Tyson. They're going to try to do exactly what they did last week. I think the Titans take that away. They're going to force Malik Willis to throw the football, and I think that's going to be a disaster. On the other side, the Titans, if Will Levis doesn't make these 2 boneheaded mistakes, we could be looking at a Titans team that's 2-0. I mean, legitimately. It could have beat the Jets, and it could have beat the Bears. Should have beat the Bears. So at least 1-1. Let's say that. I think this is a Titans team that's ripe for the picking, especially at home. 0-2, back against the wall. Will Levis is going to be locked in. Callahan and him, they're going to have a game plan for this. Thought he looked better against the Jets defense outside of that mistake. I like this Titans team. I like this play, especially under a field goal.
And Titans defense is awesome. I don't know if Will Levis is making it through the game, man. Like, I think that if he does some more dumb shit and Jeff Hadley's able to get after him a little bit, heat him up, and force him into those Will Levis, you know what, I can just throw it 1,000,000 yards moments and try to make something happen. We saw what Callahan said on the stand there. That was no coach speak, folks. That was very much, I'm upset right now. And look, I'm a Levis guy too, but I think he's got to be really good. They have to win this football game. That was a Will Levis bet by you. That's what that was. Brad, last one here for me, and I told everybody I'm going to do it until I don't hit it. Chargers unders. They're playing the Steelers this week. Just let's have a field goal fest, folks. Let's each kick 6 of these things and go home. I think that this is ball control football again. This is don't turn the football over again. The Chargers are throwing the ball like 18 times a game. Justin Fields isn't turning the ball over. He's completing at 70%. It's awesome. This is who we wanted him to be. He's throwing for 150 yards. The guys is he running for 40 more yards a game? This is Justin Fields light. And so I think that we're going to have 2 very conservative approaches to this game, 2 teams that are just going to say, like the Steelers want to win games with their defense. The Chargers want to win games by running the football. That's a great recipe for an under.
Tyson, I'm going to the same game, and I'm going to go with the Chargers money line, plus 105 on BetMGM. This is a simple play for me. Do you want Justin Herbert as your quarterback or Justin Fields? Now, Justin Herbert might be hurt, right? He's got the ankle thing going on. So if it's Ethan's stick, I mean, we're getting the short end of the stick, no pun intended, because I think, the Steelers are going to be favorites, even bigger favorites, I should say. But I think if Justin Herbert is confirmed in, this may move a little bit south. If not, I think we're still getting a good number here on basically a coin flip game. Everybody talks about the Steelers defense. This Chargers defense is really good, man. Best defense in the NFL right now on an EPA per play basis. And I know they just played the Carolina Panthers, so that helps. But we know they got stars everywhere. You just needed a guy who coming in to actually be a good defensive coordinator, unlike Brandon Staley. And Jesse Minter seems to be special. I mean, whatever they got going on at Michigan is like on the defensive side of things. First, Mike McDonald, and now Jesse Minter. This thing is working there. And so I get a Jim Harbaugh, who wants to be physical and run the football, and I get to have my quarterback go and win the game. Justin Fields is prone to mistakes. I think one mistake in this game is going to be the difference. As Tyson said, it's going to be a low-scoring, sloppy game, or at least a hard-fought game with field goals around, and I'll take the better quarterback. Now I got another over here, and I'll get into my last one. And I think you're going to laugh at it, but Tyson, I'm going to the well again. Lions Cardinals over 51.5. This Lions offense seems broken. There's got to be something in there. Like we're looking at the bottom of the barrel. We're looking at the bottom of the cookie jar. And we're like, where is Sam Laporta? Amon-Ra St. Brown popped his head up a little bit. We talked on a reaction show about, is this whole thing figured out by Ben Johnson's whole offense been figured out by the league? This is an opportunity for them to come in and just drop dong on the Cardinals, who
on Johnny Gans.
Johnny Gans, who's going to be the bend don't break, and the Lions may be able to move the ball, and they're going to be in scoring position. They just got to punch through. Like they couldn't do it against the Bucs. I think they're going to do it here. Now that's just my prediction. I think they're going to score a lot of points. And the Cardinals' offense was cooking last weekend. I mean, I know the Rams. They don't have the same guys that the Lions do in terms of star power, in terms of names anymore. Now that Aaron Donald's retired, but I think this Cardinals offense has an identity, and it's high powered. Kyler Murray looks good. They finally got Marvin Harrison Jr. involved, and I think Trey McBride. Tyson loves him. He's just a consistent guy at the tight end spot. So I think this offense is going to be able to move. This could be the highest scoring game of the weekend. So give me over 51.5.
Yeah, and the Cardinals have straight up jumped on people. They jumped on the Bills to start the game, and then they jumped all over last week. We had, what was it, 21 points, something like that, right out the gate. So maybe a little first half overlook here too.
Ooh, I like that. I like that thought. Now, my last one, Tyson. You can't say I'm not a man of the people, folks. We got 2 Monday Night Football games. How about that? And I got to play them both, and it's connected to both. How about the 6-point teaser? -120 on DraftKings, taking the Jags up to 11 and the Bengals down to 1. Now, what are we talking about here? Tyson, this is do or die time for the Jags. I mean, you go 0-3. Are we talking about a head coaching change? I mean, how insane is that to think about? That this was supposed to be the savior. He's supposed to fix Trevor Lawrence, and we're talking about a blown division last year and starting 0-3, probably missing the playoffs based on history. Holy smokes. So you play a Bills team. Now, they have the rest advantage and all that, but they are banged up. When does that come to light? I mean, Matt Milano hurt. The secondary's banged up. I know Josh Allen is Superman, but on Monday night when unders have historically, or at least primetime unders have been like historically coming in at like a 60%, 65% clip, whatever the numbers say in the recent years, I'm going to get this thing up to double digits for sure. And on the Bengals side, they got to smoke the Commanders. Like, I'm a little bit worried about the running game. Just the Bengals haven't been able to stop the run, but they should be able to just carve up the secondary. I mean, God, Daniel Jones was finding guys. What can Joe Burrow do? And if the Commanders are going to run the football and we get a fewer possessions, I think the Bengals can win by a field goal. At least we have it under the big number.
And apparently T. Higgins is going to play, which is a pretty huge boon for the Bengals pass offense, because we saw Baker Mayfield look like he was an MVP winner in week 1. We saw, Malik Neighbors look like the guy that was advertised in week 2. I'm not giving a lot of that credit to Daniel Jones, I don't think, but he was able to run around wide open. And I think that Jamar Chase and those guys can kind of get off the snide a little bit. I'm worried about your Jags here at +11. This feels like a classic. This is where Brad somehow catches a push on just a weird number that should never happen. This is scary to me. Just because I do think it's on the table that Doug Peterson is gone on Black Monday later this season. I think that you got to open your eyes to what's been going on. I mean, at a certain point, we can't keep going, well, he is generational in reference to Trevor Lawrence, and just keep giving him a pass. Look at what some of these guys have been able to do with other young quarterbacks that have come in the league, and T-Law has just stayed the same since the day he was essentially 18, but really since the day he's been in the league. He's had ups and downs and ebbs and flows. If they start 0-3, dude, this guy has been banged up. The coaching is bad. Like, they can't run the football all of a sudden. Tank Bigsby is taking ETN touches. What's going on? If Evan Ingram plays, I think you're fine here at +11. But I'm really concerned with the Jags pass catchers. Like, the BTJ thing is nice. Gabe Davis is running wind sprints. Evan Ingram's not playing, and Christian Kirk isn't even on the field. Like, what is going on?
Trent Baalke should be on the hot seat if that happens. So
we'll take a peek. He's on his hot because he just sits there and farts.
And for those of you who don't play teasers, if it does land on 11, it's a loss. So it's not like a parlay leg or anything like that. Like, that's just an L. So keep that in mind. Tyson, Mitts, we do this on Thursday, it comes out Friday. We try to get ahead of the numbers. Sometimes it goes against us, but late money comes in and sometimes things crystallize a little bit more. So where can they find anything we add?
In the Discord app, group name is I Said What I Said. As Brad says, everybody knows these numbers move around quite a bit. You might end up being able to middle something, and the only way you're going to find out how we're planning on doing that is in the Discord app. We just did our college football show right before we recorded this one. Check that out. We got plays in there, but a lot of college football plays are going to live in the Discord. We got MLB stuff living in the Discord. Good community of people just kind of going back and forth with each other, sharing bets. You don't even have to be a gambler. Just get in there, send some memes, roast some people. That's what we're here for.
And roast me, because I have been just absolutely atrocious. We hope we're not saying that next week, but we do break down NFL, college football. I mean, that's kind of our bread and butter. We got into gambling once it got a little bit more popularized. And so, we're playing at these plays and we're losing our own money and it's fun and all that. So not to lose our money, but it's fun to talk about it and all that stuff. So, stay subscribed if you haven't already, because we'd love to have you join us early in the week and break down what the hell just happened over the weekend in college and the NFL. Smash that like button if you haven't already, if you're watching on YouTube, and share it with your friends, share it with Nemi, whatever the case may be. We love if you guys could help us grow. We love the loyal listeners and all that good stuff. And so share it with your friends if they haven't listened. Enjoy the weekend. If you want to listen to our college plays, like Tyson said, that's out now. But have a fantastic weekend full of football. We'll talk to you early next week. Till then, guys, peace.